So, Mr. Wiley, I heard that you had something to do with Marcus and his magical Christmas.
It was nothing.
Nothing? No, it was a transformation. Marcus seems more...
Mature?
Yes. You know, it seems like he's grown up a little bit. I never thought I'd say that, but I like the change.
I do too. That's what happened when you realize the world doesn't revolve around you and you're full tube.
That's true.
Welcome to the Christmas edition of Cooking with Chef Marcus. Today we are going to make baked ham, green beans, and buttery rolls. Today joining me is my special guest, Sam. What's up, Sam?
Hi, Chef Marcus and everybody in YouTube land. I'm gonna get this pot of water on so it can boil.
Yeah, that's it's not
Going on here. Oh, I should have known.
I told you so. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, so would we like to explain
Okay, I appreciate you being here, and you know what? I want to send this video to all my friends. Now
Okay.
you got to tell me here, Joe. You go to Orchard Hill.
Yes, I'm on the worship team at Orchard Hill Church.
Cool, and you've been doing great for us here, coming into his place. I love it, and you're gonna do Christmas stuff for us too.
Sure.
Okay, cool, excellent. Now see, I can now put this on the His Place website, and it'll be very cool. And so, ladies and gentlemen, last call for coffee, and so in a few minutes, not right now, but in a few minutes, we're going to have some more music. So make sure you place your orders with Laura.
My dream is to be a lawyer. My dream is to be a veterinarian. I want to be a chef because I love food. My dream is to be a doctor, a teacher.
My dream is to be
a ballerina, a fireman,
an emergency room physician,
football player, science teacher,
My dream is to become a mechanical engineer.
professional skateboarder.
My dream is to
Be a nurse,
a shoe designer.
the president of the United States of America.
I have big dreams.
But right now,
I'm just a kid.
I'm just a kid.
Hey, I'm just a kid.
I'm the kid.
just a kid.
I'm just a kid.
I'm just a kid ready to be adopted.
Ready to be adopted.
I'm just a kid ready to be adopted. For the facts about adopting a child from foster care, contact the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption.
Oh no, it's back! Shut the door! Shut the door! Not again! It's too big to stop! I can't keep it out! More rain! I can't stop weeping! My friend down the street got drained, braced, and waterproofed from J&D Waterproofing. He has a whole new lease on life.
Basement water problems? Don't cry. Call 1-800-VERY-DRY.
Oh, that can't be good.
Call J&D Waterproofing.
What does hope look like? For the forgotten poor in Africa, it's a big white hospital ship from Mercy Ships. Thousands of people without access to desperately needed health care turn to Mercy Ships for hope and for healing. Birth defect repairs, tumor removals, and eye surgeries are all provided free and bring a renewed sense of hope. Find out how you can change lives through Mercy Ships at mercyships.org.
So what's the music mean to you? I mean, has it always been a part of your life?
Yeah, pretty much. When I was young, my sister's probably still mad at me because I wore out her collector's Beatles records when I was a little kid. That I had. My dad kept
She's saying now,
turning the
why
record
did you wear
over.
these out? Why did you wear these out? These are worth so much.
But yes, I started taking piano lessons probably when I was 5 or 6, and so I've been doing music pretty much all my life, and went to college and thought I was going to be a music teacher, and just through a chain of events ended up at St. Stephen's Church in Swickley, which was where Orchard Hill was founded. It was a church plant, and so I've been there 22 years and doing music.
A lot of people look for their call their entire lives. It sounds like you found yours at a very young age.
Yeah, I think so.
How did you know? How did you really know this is what you were kind of called to do?
I don't really know. I had two real influential people. One was the music director at my church growing up, and the other was my junior high music teacher. And just really made music come alive, and just the enthusiasm and energy, and just I knew I wanted to be part of that. And it's just really been neat to lead people to a place with music.
So are you self-taught on all these instruments?
No, I had piano lessons when I was young, and then I went to Duquesne University for music ed, and then
wow, you really went there.
Yeah.
Good, cool. Well, you're going to do some more music for us?
Yeah, do some.
Can you do
music.
some Christmas stuff for us?
Yeah, we'll get in the Christmas spirit. So.
All right, I like Christmas stuff. So what are you going to do?
This is a song kind of from instead of just the traditional Christmas song, it's kind of from Joseph's perspective of what Jesus coming into the world meant for him as a father and as a carpenter.
Cool. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we've got Joseph and Joseph's song. So it's cool. Give it up for him.
So peacefully, the Son of God, the angel said, how could it be? Lord, I know he's not my own, not of my flesh, not of my bones. Still, Father, let this baby be the son of my love. Father, show me where I fit into this plan of yours. How can a man be father to the Son of God? Lord, for all my life I've been a simple carpenter. How can I raise a king? How can I raise a king? He looks so small, his hands and feet so fair. And when he cries, the sun just seems to disappear. But when he laughs, it shines again. How can it be? Father, show me where I fit into this plan of yours. How can a man be father to the Son of God? Lord, for all my life I've been a simple carpenter. How can I raise a king? How can I raise a king? How could it be? This baby in my arms, sleeping now so peacefully, the Son of God, the angel said, how could it be?
You know, excuse me. What is wrong with you two? This is a place of business, not a place to goof off.
But
No. I don't even want to hear it. I want to hear that Tim gave you permission. That was unforgivable.
Well, he was just trying to be nice.
Yeah, I was. I was going to talk about the Marcus's Christmas Carol show. And, you know.
Okay, well, that's all nice and well and good. All right, but you need to do this on your own time and not make a ruckus.
Hey.
You guys okay? Everybody okay here? Amy, how are you? It is good to see you.
Nice to see you too. Great place.
Hey, do
Yeah.
you mind if I have a
Please,
seat?
yeah, have
What,
a seat.
what have you been up to?
Well, same old thing in a bigger way, I guess you could say. I still doing the abstinence education in the schools, and
Well, from what I hear, it's worse than ever.
well, you know, there's several ways to look at that. Things are improving, but there's a long way to go. Yeah.
What's improving? Tell me what's
Well-
improving. I like to hear good news.
I don't know if your kids watch TV, but
Of course.
out in the world, there's a couple great shows out right now. 16 and Pregnant, Teen Mom. MTV has really been pushing
Oh, come
Teen
on,
Mom.
come on. You're
Some
these
of the
are
greatest
these
shows
are
on TV,
these
right?
are real television shows and
Yeah,
people
these
watch
are-
them.
And you know, it's not a drama. These are reality shows, real live people in real life situations. And Teen Mom actually it was the second most watched television show of the summer. Can you believe that? Last summer, second most watched television show.
Well, hang on. Is this a good thing or a bad thing? Do kids see this and they say, you know what? I don't want to end up that way because I'm seeing what this teen mom's going through, or do they look at it and say, oh, woohoo, yeah, I want to be a teen mom?
Yeah, well, everybody's been asking that question. A lot of stuff on the internet's been going around, just polling kids, talking to kids that are somewhere between 15 and 19 and asking that question. What do you think? Is this increasing sexual activity? Is it affecting the way you look at this at all? And it's really an interesting study because some of the kids are saying, as you might expect, like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't affect me one way or the other. And I kind of believe them. I think there's some kids that just simply aren't influenced by reality shows. But for over 80% of kids, they say that it opens up conversation with their parents. Can you believe
Wow.
that? Yeah, so we're seeing some positive, just like we did from the Juno movie a couple years ago, 2008 that came out. And the Juno effect was that kids were much more open to talk about adoption after that movie came out. But the disturbing fact is that the birth rate, even though the birth rate has gone down some, the fact is kids are still looking at sexual activity like it can be part of dating, it's part of your life, it's part of being a teenager. So the work really is to whittle away at that.
Well, there's some scary things that I've read. There's a book called Unchristian that's out that I read, and basically the part of the premise of that book was that it says that the late teens and 20-somethings are basically saying, as far as sexual activity goes, it's like, listen, you know, I'm free to do whatever I want to do, and my parents' opinion really doesn't matter. And so, you know, why are you trying to dictate me? If we like each other, it's just fun.
Right, yeah, and the parents don't really have, you know, the cultural mandate. You know, they don't really have the culture behind them. We don't live in a culture anymore that has a homogeneous way of looking at some of these moral issues. So even if a parent makes a stand, you know, they're up against the whole culture. So where once upon a time, 10 years ago, a parent was the most influential person in their kid's life, that is changing. And so kids really see themselves as autonomous. The good news, though, is that kids are more pro-life in this generation, this upcoming teen generation, than ever before.
Why?
And,
Why is that?
Well, when you look at books like Freakonomics, you know, they tell kids that, you know, a third of your generation isn't here. I mean, a third of your generation is gone. And also kids have seen the sort of the battlefield, people, you know, dying and the consequences of sexual activity and abortion. And they're realizing that's not really what they want for their lives. So even when they watch a show like Teen Mom, they say, well, I want to avoid this. Most kids will say, that's not the life that I really want. So we're part of the way there. I think the rest of the way is to say, you know, step back a step and say, well, how do you avoid this completely? And bring sexual integrity back up to the front of their mind and begin to, you know, just begin to change that that cultural look at where sex falls in the context of marriage.
What are the best ways? I mean, as a parent, I mean, my kids are in that age bracket that is, you know, getting more and more sexually involved. What are the key things that I can say to my kids, or what kind of influence? How can I have that influence?
She's always cranky. Hey, did you know she has kids?
No.
Well, she does.
Maybe that's why she's in such a bad mood. Maybe she just didn't get enough sleep.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that can happen. But she really needs to lay off a little bit. I'm trying to get as many people involved with Marcus's Christmas, magical Christmas as I can.
You will.
Yeah. Oh, I still want you to help me with my Christmas edition of Cooking with Chef Marcus. Yeah, very good. You learned your lines very well. Cool. Yeah.
Okay, well, no, she had a slight fever and a cough when I left. Are you saying that it's gotten worse? Well, didn't the baby Tylenol help? No, that's what I'm saying. Did it get worse? You know, no, don't tell me to calm down. That's, you know what, I'll call you back in a couple minutes.
Sound like a pretty intense phone call.
Yeah, so you heard that.
Yes, I heard. Quite frankly, I couldn't help it.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Things get pretty crazy. It's hard to juggle everything, if you know what I mean.
Sure, I knew. My Josie used to say that too. She would work, and that was fine with me. She worked 2 days out of the week. She feels so guilty about it until we had a little chat about it.
Well, I know how that feels. I mean, I have a nanny, but I leave a lot more than 2 days a week, and I just feel terrible now because my little girl's sick, and I can't go home to see her.
Why not? You think this cafe ceased to exist when you step out the door?
Well, I'd like to think I'm at least a little important to the business.
You are, but it's more about that.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I don't know. I just feel whatever I do, I'm going to mess up something, and someone's going to have to sacrifice something, and either the kids suffer or the cafe suffers.
When my Josie was conflicted about working the kids, I reminded her one thing. Parenting is first. She loved to be a mom more than anything. The kids don't prioritize what you prioritize. They don't know how you feel. They could care less if this cafe is a mess, but it's not, actually.
Thank you, Mr. Wiley. You're a very wise man.
Don't go around telling everybody. I don't need people coming up, interrupting me, want me to give them advice or help them with a problem.
Okay, make sure they know.
His place.
To the men and women of the United States Armed Forces, the USO delivers the joys and comforts of home. Even out here. Find out how you can help at USO.org. The USO, until everyone comes home.
Marcus, Sam, do you think you two could hold down the fort for me?
Is this a first? Abby is taking a break?
You deserve one, Abby. I've never seen you take one.
No, I'm not taking a break.
No.
I already spoke with Tim, and I need to leave a little early. My little girl is sick.
Oh, is she going to be okay?
I'm sure she'll be fine. She just keeps asking for a mom. So, Sam, I need you to make sure that you put the orders in the iPad before you chat with the patrons. And Marcus, please, no taping when I'm not here if we're too busy. Oh, and please, someone talk to Louie and tell him to stop singing over the drive-through intercom because he's scaring the people when they're driving up to take orders. All right. Take care.
You know, the world has changed dramatically. I mean, in just, you know, the 6 years since, you know, I had the His Place Diner, I mean, the world has changed. And I'm seeing all this change, and I'm wondering, you know, as a parent, and what I need to say to other parents in my church. Listen, this is what you need to do to help your kids to remain celibate, to remain abstinent.
Well, that's one of the encouraging things that I saw about these reality shows, is that the kids say, well, it's making the conversation easier. I'm able to talk to an adult more easily about these shows because they can do it in the context of, hey, did you see what happened to Macy last night? Did you see what happened to Farrah? And, you know, and Macy and Kyle and what happened there. So they can talk about a plot, and it gives them a little, you know, a safe little buffer. They're not talking about their own lives. They're talking about this reality show. And parents really need to capitalize on that. Instead of saying, no, you're not allowed to watch that show, to a 16 or 17-year-old, say, well, let's watch it together. Let me sit down and watch the show with you, and you know, and sit through it, and wait for the conversation to happen.
And try not to be critical. Try not to be cynical.
Not to be too bad.
You know, be sensitive to your kids. Let them, because it's like, what?
Yeah, because it becomes kind of tiresome. But these kids, you know, they're seeing a couple that's really going through some difficult things, and you know, there's some lessons to be learned there. Let's use it. I mean, it's on there. MTV's pouring a lot of money into this show. It's not going away. So let's use it. And the other thing that I think parents really need to key in on is something that we've talked about before, is marriage. You know, we tell kids to wait, not have sex, you know, have sexual integrity, and to wait. But what are they waiting for? And they really don't have a vision for marriage. And so when we tell kids to wait, they're kind of like, wait for what?
When everybody they know is divorced.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. And why? When I get there, how fun is that going to be? Not at all. So we really have to re-educate kids about marriage. And you know, we have this great Silver Ring Thing program, you know, and it's born right here out of Pittsburgh. And I think the key is, how do you get from silver to gold? You know, how do you get to marriage, and to really set up marriage as the vision? When I go to talk to kids, especially middle school kids, they'll say, how many of you have been to a wedding? And you know, not very many hands go up. These kids haven't been to a wedding. Because weddings are big, splashy affairs, cost a lot of money, and they're not going to invite kids, you know, they're not going to take up table space with these kids. So kids don't go to weddings. And then when I'll say, you know, I'll see a couple hands, and I'll say, well, whose wedding did you go to? And they'll say, my mom's, you know, my dad's. So, you know,
Both
we really
of my mom's weddings.
yeah, we really don't have this great picture of marriage. And we have to recreate that for kids and help them see this tremendous model that God gave us on this earth. The closest thing that we're going to see to that kind of intimacy of the Trinity is modeled for us right here in marriage. And we have to begin to explain that to our kids. Even if your marriage isn't perfect, even if you don't come from a current marriage, you still have to pass that along. And I think God's Word has plenty to say about it for us.
So what I'm hearing you say, we spend so much time trying to put out the fires. What we need to do is we need to change it so that we're being more positive and saying, listen, let me create an environment for you. Let's talk about this stuff before the fire happens. Let's talk about all these things and get it all out.
And give a vision. Yeah.
It's one of those things that's a real challenge for parents, because they're afraid of all this stuff. It's like, well, if I don't talk about it, you know, what? Don't ask, don't tell. You know, we just got rid of that in the government, and now we're doing it. You know, we're doing it in our homes. I don't want to know what my kids are going through, but we need to engage our kids.
Yeah, we do. And a lot of parents are in denial. You know, they really don't want to see what's going on right in front of them.
How young?
Well, you know, at the pregnancy center, the Women's Choice Networks now that we have 5 locations now. We see kids as young as 11. 11 for a pregnancy test. Yeah, so, you know, the conversation has to start early and has to be appropriate. But, you know, parents really need to start that discussion and keep it going. And I do hear of parents who will say, you know, I have condoms in the house, the kids know where they are, and I expect them to be responsible about it. And these are, you know, parents that you just think, well, you know, you just want to slap them and say, what are you thinking, you know? But they really feel like the worst thing that could happen to their kid would be a pregnancy. So let's avoid that. Where they don't really see all the other consequences.
It's okay if they get a ripped out heart. It's okay if they feel worthless.
STDs,
it's okay if
yeah, I mean,
STDs.
they haven't even thought of some of those other consequences. But certainly the emotional and spiritual ones are huge. And so, you know, the parents really need to...
Gentlemen, if you can focus your attention to the stage, we're going to hear the sounds of Mr. Joseph Feick. Take it away, Joe.
makes me see, and once again it amazes me. Oh, how your love stays with me when the shadows fall and everybody leaves. Well, I'm not alone. You know I'll never be, 'cause your love stays with me. When cold winds fall against my skin and it chills my body, oh, but not the soul within, 'cause I've got a fire and it burns so bright and it keeps me warm through the longest night. Oh, how your love stays with me when the shadows fall and everybody leaves. Well, I'm not alone. You know I'll never be, 'cause your love stays with me. Well, your love stays with
We're all hoping you'll stop by. So come on in and find a friend to help you on your way. Pull up a chair and find his care. We'll be here every day in his place. Ba-ba-da-da, his place, his place.
Another great show here on His Place. And remember, you can go to hisplace.tv and find out more about the program or find out behind-the-scenes stuff, all kinds of great things. Want to tune into the next His Place, where we will have a great show with Jared Parks and David Helmstead will be here, talking about unique outreach, ways to reach out to people and share the gospel. Also, David Edwards will be here, and you know it's going to be a marvelous show. If you want to know more about Amy Scheuring and all that's going on, contact us at hisplace.tv, and we'll give you all of her personal information. We're glad to do it. She doesn't mind.